How do all, and welcome back to the Immersion Gaming Facebook page. So as I've told you, every time I've uploaded a new live stream on a game on the Facebook page, I'm still not planning anytime soon on picking back up the YouTube channel. As I keep telling you, I just have not got time at the moment. I'm rushing now to get this done and squeeze this in to just to let you know what's coming next. Because I just don't have the time. I am really pushed for time at the moment. So yeah, again, I am not abandoning the YouTube thing. It will get picked back up at some point, and the game that I was last playing when I stopped doing it, which was The Last of Us, will continue exactly where I left it, because I haven't touched the game. I haven't played it once since we left it on the channel, so it's still on my computer. It's still exactly where we left it, and I will be picking it exactly up from where I left it. But I just do not have the time at the moment. So yeah, that's something in the hopefully near future, but we'll see how it goes. So for now, as I told you, I'm just streaming the games that I play on a night after I finished work. So I would have been playing them anyway, you know what I mean? So I thought, well, for the sake of 10 minutes it takes to set up a live stream, I might as well share the game for in case there's people that don't play games that would enjoy the story, or for the same reason I did the YouTube channel, basically. So what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future is I'm going to be going through all of the Telltale games. Basically, Telltale are developers that made a set of games that were really like small mini-series films that you watch, or a mini-series program that you watch on TV. They are really well made. Every single one of them that I played, I were captivated. As soon as I started playing it, I couldn't put it down because I wanted to know what happened next. They were really well written, and you've only a look at the reviews that they got. Everybody loved them. They were really well written. They just drew you in, basically, just the same as the programs would that you watch on TV, because a lot of them were, as you'll find out as we go ahead here, were based on actual TV programs or films or whatever. So yeah, they are really good, and I think now there's 11 of them, 11 different titles. So I'm going to be going, because they're not that long. Well, I say not that long. A couple of them had sequels made. So I'm going to be playing them, because what I'm doing is I'm playing the games in order that they came out when Telltale released them. But for some of the titles, they had sequels. So instead of separating them up and playing the other games that came out before the sequel, I'm going to be playing the sequels straight after the original game, so that it follows on, rather than, because they came out later after some of the other titles, so rather than playing them later on, I'll be playing the sequels directly after the original games. That way you can, like I say, you can follow the story. But the others will be in order that they came out. So yeah, like I said, they're not that long, the ones that haven't got sequels. I think around about 4 hours you can do them, 4 or 5 hours, something like that. So probably we'll do it over 2 nights, each one. But yeah, they are really good. Stories on them are cracking. They're really good. So they've done, like I said, they've done 11 different titles. Now, again, some of them had sequels, so if you're going of how many games they actually brought out, I think there were about 15 or 16, something like that. But like I said, some of them were sequels. So as in the titles, they did 11 of them. One of them that they just recently released, I haven't played yet. That's the last one we'll be playing. But the others that I did play, it was a while ago. I haven't played them for quite a while, so I have pretty much forgot what happened in them and how the story went and stuff, because it was years and years ago that I played them. Especially the earlier ones. That was a really long time ago. So anyway, yeah, the order in which they came out was Wallace and Gromit Grand Adventures, it's called. I think that's like 3 stories in one. So it's like 3 mini stories within the whole story. But you know, Wallace and Gromit is really good animation. The game itself is made to make the characters look like they are made out of plasticine, so you can still see fingerprints on plasticine and stuff like that, which I thought were really good, because it just kept within the feeling of the actual series, the Wallace and Gromit series. I was always a lover of them animations. I always loved that sort of stop motion animation. So yeah, Wallace and Gromit will be the first one. That's the one I'm going to be playing tomorrow. Grand Adventure. It's quite funny, is actually. It's the same humour that's in the actual animations, because them that made the animations collaborated with Telltale and wrote the story for them. So it is the same as watching Wallace and Gromit. It's just a game though. So yeah, that's a really, really good one. I really enjoyed that. So that's the first one we're playing, Wallace and Gromit's Grand Adventures. The second one is Back to the Future. I'm sure you're all aware of the film Back to the Future. The characters are all the same. You've got Michael J. Fox, you've got the Doc, who sounds and looks as he does they all look and sound the same. You've got Biff, you've got his mum and dad, his girlfriend Jennifer, they're all in it, basically. They're all in it from the films. Again, all these games are usually around 5 episodes per game, but obviously we'll be playing them all at once. But yeah, they've separated them up into 5 episodes because they came out like that. They came out 1 episode at a time, like a month apart or something, I think. So yeah, the Back to the Future one, like I said, it's set upon the films. All the characters in it, really, really good story, as with all the Telltale games. So that's the second one. The third one is Jurassic Park. Again, based on the film, characters that are in the film are in it. Again, a really good story. Really enjoyed that game. I think, again, it's 5 or 6 episodes. I can't remember how many exactly, but they're all around 5 or 6 episodes. So yeah, that's going to be the third one, Jurassic Park. Then we've got the one that had the most sequels made for it, which is The Walking Dead. Now, I am a massive fan of The Walking Dead. I love that series. Absolutely love that series. In fact, it's one of the only series I've really, really got into to the point of watching it, like, religiously. It's, again, based on... Well, no, sorry. There's only a couple of the characters out of the actual series, like Michonne, that's in this series, this Telltale series, but it don't matter because everything else is the same. I mean, obviously it's post-apocalyptic. There's been some sort of mass extinction event where everyone's turned into frigging zombies. The box standard zombies, those that try and eat brains. So yeah, that's the premise of it. It's just the same as the series itself, but you're following new characters. But these characters in it are absolutely fantastic. I think that's why they made so many sequels. I mean, I think there were 4 or 5 sequels to this Walking Dead in the game, I mean, because it was a massive hit. It was just so well written, and as soon as you get into it and you get to know the characters, you are invested in the game. You really are. It proper suction draws you in, and as expected from Walking Dead, it's quite gory in certain parts. It's definitely not made for children, you know what I mean? It's quite graphic and gory. It touches upon some deep subjects and things like that. But again, really well made, fantastic game. I'd say one of the best out of all of them. And that's why they made so many sequels, like I said. So, like I said, I think there were about 4 or 5, I can't remember exactly. Michonne had her own little game as well that's in it. Because she's a really good character with her samurai sword. So yeah, that'll be the 4th one, The Walking Dead series. Again, I'll be playing all them back to back, just so you can follow the story along. There's no point playing them in the order that they came out, because there'll be loads of different games in between them all. And I just think, well, there's no point in that, we'll just follow the story. So the 5th one that we're playing were the only one really that isn't based on a film or a series, but it is based on something you'll know. I thought it was a really, really good idea, how they did it. It's called The Wolf Among Us. And it's based on the old nursery rhymes. So like Snow White and Little Red Riding Hood and things like that. But what they've done is they've copied the characters from the old nursery rhymes, but they've brought it into our world, so into the real world. So basically the premise behind it is these fairy tale characters, like the main character in it, that's why it's called The Wolf Among Us, is the big bad wolf from Red Riding Hood. So he's your character, the main character you play. but he's a normal human looking like us. So what's happened is they've come over to our world because something happened in their fairy tale land, and they had to like seek asylum in our realm. But they have to get something that's called a glamour, which is like a magical spell that makes them look like us. So they just walk around among us, and you can't tell that they're actually pigs from Three Little Pigs or a wolf. You know what I mean? They actually look like humans, but they are still like a wolf or a frog or pigs or whatever. And if that glamour fails, they will change back into that form. So yeah, it gives it a really dark look of the fairy tale world of all them fairy tales, because they are like murdering, and there's like, I think there's sexual abuse in it and stuff like that. So yeah, I just thought it was a really good angle on the old fairy tale characters. Really, really good. I really enjoyed that. It's one of my favourite ones, is The Wolf Among Us. And in fact, they are, as we speak, in making a second one to The Wolf Among Us, I think, because it were that good. So that'll be very good if that comes out as well. So yeah, that'll be the fifth one, The Wolf Among Us. Again, fantastic game. It's about 5 or 6 episodes. The sixth one will be Tales from the Borderlands. Now, for you that don't play a game, you probably won't know this. But for gamers, they'll know that the Borderlands is a game, quite a big game actually, that's made by Gearbox, I think it was, Gearbox Software or something like that made it. But yeah, it's quite a big game. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world. So after some major event, I don't know, a nuke where they blow everything up with nukes or something. Just a desolate frigging wasteland now is Earth, with like ramshackle towns. A bit like Waterworld without the water, I suppose, which would be, but it's all ramshackle towns that they've built up, and it's all just chaos is like the strongest survive sort of thing, you know what I mean? But it's got like a comedy spin on it. So this is like a mini series about some of the characters in that game and stuff, but again made in the form of like a little film or a TV series. And obviously the choices you make and the decisions you make and stuff affect where the game goes. So yeah, it's really good. I thought it was good how they did that again, took it from a video game that already exists, that made it into like a little mini series, like a TV series. So yeah, it's quite good. The characters are really good in that, to be honest. So yeah, that'll be the sixth one, Tales from the Borderlands. Seventh one, which is probably going to be known to a lot of you, is Game of Thrones. I personally didn't get into the Game of Thrones because that era of knights and medieval times, and that is not really the biggest. I'm not really the biggest fan of that era, to be honest. But this miniseries Game of Thrones I did really enjoy, and I really got into. And probably some of you that followed the actual series, because I know a lot of people did, will probably know the characters that are in it and stuff. But as a mini standalone series for someone that hasn't watched any of the Game of Thrones series, I still really liked it, and I still got to know the characters in it, and I enjoyed it. So it is really good. But what I mean is, if you are a fan of this actual series, you will probably enjoy it more because you'll know the characters in it. So yeah, that will be the seventh one, Game of Thrones. The eighth one is, I don't even think I've played this one, to be honest. It's Minecraft Story Mode. So basically, it's set in, you must have all heard of Minecraft, the game that kids love, which is like an old 80s blocky looking video game. So it's really, really simple textures and blocky looking and stuff, but kids love it because you can just dig, and basically the whole expanse is you can manipulate the whole expanse, so you can dig and go right under and make tunnels, and you can build whatever you want and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's why it's so big, Minecraft. But this game, Minecraft Story Mode, is set in that world of Minecraft, but following these characters that live within that world. Again, from what I've seen and heard about it, really good. The characters are really believable. You know, you really get attached to them as you're watching the series, and you get to know them. Because again, it'll be set over like 5 episodes, I think, 5 or 6 episodes. And like I said, I can't remember playing that to be honest, but I might have done. I just can't remember playing it because I'm not a massive fan of Minecraft. But yeah, that'll be the 8th one, Minecraft story mode. Number 9, again, this one had a sequel, and you'll all know it. It's Batman. The ones that I've got are called Shadow Edition, and basically what that means is they've done it in like a SimCity sort of way, so it's like mainly black and white, but with hints of colour on certain things, you know. So it's just there's a few films out like that have been done in black and white, but certain things are in colour, and it's a really effective way of filming something. I don't know why, but it is really effective. It's good. So I thought, because I've played the original Telltale Batman games, I thought I'd try the Shadow Edition, because a lot of people were saying it adds to it, because the world of Batman and Gotham and stuff like is really dark, and you know what I mean. So they're saying that this Shadow Edition really adds to the effect of the game. So I thought, well, why not? It's the newest edition anyway. I think they've touched it up, as in the textures and stuff as well. So I got that one. So there's 2 of that. There's the Batman normal, the first series one that they brought out. Then they brought a second one which were called The Enemy Within. So again, I'll play them back to back, because there wasn't a massive gap between when them 2 came out anyway, I don't think. But yeah, I'm going to play them back to back just to follow the story on. So yeah, there'll be 2 Batman ones. The 10th one, again, you should all know it, is Guardians of the Galaxy from the film. So you must know Star-Lord and all them, and Groot and everything from Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, that again followed really closely. All the characters from that are the characters from the films. Really, really good game. Really, really well-written characters and well-written story. Again, over 5 or 6 episodes, I think. I really enjoyed that one, to be honest, because not long after that I played the actual Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel release, which is really, really good. I might put it on the channel at some point. Really, really good graphics. Looks immense, to be honest. But the only problem I have with putting that on for you guys is the big thing about Guardians of the Galaxy is it's the soundtrack, the music that's in it. It's all the 80s music in it that he listens to, and they play that in all like the fight scenes and stuff, don't they? They put like an 80s track over it, and it adds to the comedy value of the film. Now obviously if I'm streaming that, I ain't going to be able to play it with the original soundtrack. I think there is an alternative streaming soundtrack, so it's not the copyrighted music, basically all the original songs from the 80s, because you get copyright strikes for it. So I think there is an alternative soundtrack that's for streamers, but it in the known songs, and I don't know how much that's going to affect or take away from the game, because it is such a big part of that film is the soundtrack. So I don't know. That's the reason why I haven't streamed that so far. It's why I didn't stream it for the YouTube channel either, because I did really want to put that on there, but it just took it away from me with the soundtrack not being able to be putting on. So we'll see. I can't remember in the Telltale version whether it has all them original songs on or not. So that's going to be something I'm going to have a look at. But yeah, anyway, number 10 is Guardians of the Galaxy from the films. Again, over 5 or 6 episodes, and it is really, really good story. The 11th one and the last one is one that I haven't played yet. It's only just come out a few months ago, and it's called The Expanse. Now obviously it's to do with space, but I don't know much more than that, to be honest. I don't know much more than that about it. So obviously, just before I start that game, I'll put the trailer on for you to have a look at it. But yeah, I don't really know much more about that, to be honest, because I've only just found out about it when I started doing this. So that's going to be my first time seeing it too. So other than that, yeah, that's the 11 games of the Telltale series. The company Telltale did, I don't know if they just closed or if they just split up or stopped making games or what. I don't know what happened, to be quite honest, but they did stop, which everyone were gutted about, because their games are different to all other games. Like I say, their games are more like a mini TV series or a movie or whatever. That's how they made them, and basically you do control the characters through it, but in a way that it's like a film. And the way you play the game is the choices you make and the decisions you make throughout the game will affect where the game goes and what ultimately happens, you know what I mean, at the end of the game. So yeah, everyone really enjoyed them, and there were a lot of people that were gutted when they stopped making them. But from what I've found out, that another company has bought Telltale as a brand, and they're going to start releasing, like I said, The Wolf Among Us 2 and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's the same people that were in the original team, because that's what makes a company successful. It's the team. It's how good they are at writing the stories. Do you know what I mean? It's not just about the graphics and how good the game looks, because these days it's quite easy to do good graphics because you've got stuff like Unreal Engine 5 and things like that. So a lot of it's done for you now. The real skill is in the writing of the story and how you put it together, you know, for the character to experience it. And that's where the skill's involved. So if you don't get a good team to do that, it don't matter that you've bought Telltale as a brand that everybody loves and recognises. If it's different people that's writing it and they don't know what they're doing, it's just going to be a fail, isn't it? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's yet to be seen. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I don't know if it's the original people that have come back or whatever. I don't know. But I've just heard that Telltale have been bought as a brand and they're going to be releasing some more of these types of games, which I'm glad about because I love these games. I just hope they do it right. So yeah, anyway, that's the 11 games that's going to be the next 11 games that I'm going to be playing. Like I said to you, they're not that long. They're only about, I'm sure they're around 4 or 5 hours to complete each one. So probably each one, I mean, some of them I might get done in one sitting, I don't know. But if not, it'd more likely be 2 sittings for each one. So yeah, it won't really take that long when you think about it. I mean, it'll be done in a couple of weeks or whatever, but they are really good to watch. Really good stories to them. They really draw you in, you know, like a film or a series would. So yeah, definitely worth watching. So come join us tomorrow night for the first one, Wallace and Gromit, around 8 PM as always. And if you don't want to watch it live, like I said, they'll always be there on the Facebook page. Pardon me, on the Immersion Gaming Facebook page. They're always there afterwards, pre-recorded if you want to go back and watch them. They're definitely worth watching. All the Telltale games that I'm going to be putting on, because the stories are fantastic. And again, like I said, it's just like watching a film, an animation or whatever. So take care of your sins. And after this, I'll crack on and do the trailer video for Wallace and Gromit, which is the one I'm going to start playing first tomorrow. So I'll get that cracked on and done as well. So take care of your sins. Speak to you all soon. Bye.